The crisp autumn air greeted Sarah and her friends as they set up camp in the heart of Whispering Pines National Forest. The towering trees loomed like ancient sentinels, their rustling leaves creating an eerie symphony. Excitement filled the air as they pitched their tents under the sprawling canopy, eager for a weekend of adventure in the secluded wilderness. As the sun dipped below the horizon, shadows danced among the trees, casting an unsettling ambience over the campsite. The crackling campfire provided a feeble barrier against the encroaching darkness. Sarah dismissed the unease, attributing it to the inherent spookiness of the woods. Little did she know that the Whispering Pines held secrets darker than any shadow. Night descended, bringing with it an eerie silence broken only by the haunting howls of distant wolves. The campfire's glow seemed to waver with each mournful cry. Sarah's friends exchanged nervous glances, their once enthusiastic spirits dampened by the primal echoes that reverberated through the forest. Unbeknownst to them, something stirred in the depths of Whispering Pines, awakening a primal force. As the night deepened, an unsettling fog rolled in, cloaking the campsite in an otherworldly mist. The group huddled closer to the dwindling campfire, their faces etched with concern. In the oppressive silence, they noticed the absence of one of their friends, Mark. Panic set in as they realized he had vanished into the spectral fog without a trace. Determined to find Mark, the remaining campers ventured into the fog-shrouded woods, their flashlights cutting through the mist like ghostly beacons. The silence was broken only by the haunting echoes of their footsteps. Unseen eyes seemed to watch them from the shadows, and a cold breeze carried whispers that chilled their bones. The Whispering Pines lived up to its name, revealing secrets that stirred ancient fears. After what felt like hours, the group stumbled upon a clearing bathed in an ethereal glow. In its center stood a decaying altar, surrounded by gnarled roots and twisted vines. Mark was nowhere to be found, but an oppressive energy hung in the air. The campers, now gripped by a sense of dread, realized they had ventured into a place untouched by time, a cursed clearing that held the key to the forest's malevolent secrets. As they explored the clearing, the campers discovered strange objects: an ancient dagger, weathered tomes bound in animal hide, and cryptic symbols etched into the stones. Sarah, drawn by an unseen force, touched the dagger, triggering a surge of unearthly energy. Visions of forgotten rituals and shadowy figures flickered before her eyes. The Whispering Pines, it seemed, guarded a history steeped in the supernatural. The forest, now alive with malevolent energy, unleashed vengeful spirits that prowled the shadows. Mark's disembodied whispers echoed through the trees, warning of a curse that bound the souls of those who dared disturb the sacred clearing. Panic set in as the campers realized they were no longer alone in the Whispering Pines. Haunted by vengeful spirits, the group raced through the fog-choked woods, their breaths ragged and hearts pounding. The once familiar trails twisted into maddening labyrinths, and the Whispering Pines seemed to shift and contort with each desperate step. The campsite, now a distant memory, became an elusive sanctuary as the supernatural forces closed in. The vengeful spirits, relentless in their pursuit, toyed with the campers' fears. Shadows twisted into grotesque shapes, and ghostly whispers taunted them with long-buried secrets. Sarah, now a conduit for the forest's malevolence, felt the weight of the curse pressing upon her. The Whispering Pines, once a backdrop for adventure, transformed into a nightmarish realm where the line between the living and the dead blurred. Days turned into weeks, and the authorities' search yielded no results. The town, nestled on the outskirts of the Whispering Pines, became enveloped in a thick shroud of unease. Rumors spread like wildfire, painting the forest as a malevolent entity hungry for souls. Whispers of ancient curses and vengeful spirits haunted the local taverns, fueling the growing sense of dread among the townsfolk. Intrigued by the tales surrounding the Whispering Pines, paranormal investigator Alex Thornton arrived in town. Armed with an array of spectral detecting devices and a healthy skepticism, Alex sought to unravel the mysteries concealed within the ancient forest. The townsfolk, desperate for answers, welcomed the investigator and shared their stories of the unsettling events that had transpired. As Alex delved into the heart of the Whispering Pines, the spectral readings spiked. Unseen forces seemed to react to the investigator's presence, creating an otherworldly symphony of electromagnetic pulses and chilling whispers. The ancient dagger, recovered from the cursed clearing, became a focal point for the paranormal activity, resonating with a spectral energy that defied scientific explanation. In the dead of night, guided by the ethereal readings, Alex stumbled upon an anomaly, an invisible gateway that flickered at the fringes of perception. The portal, hidden within the heart of the Whispering Pines, seemed to bridge the gap between the living and the supernatural. The investigator, compelled by an unseen force, took a hesitant step into the otherworldly abyss. The portal, once crossed, revealed a realm teeming with residual echoes of the past. Visions of the campers' desperate escape played out like ghostly apparitions. Mark's whispers, now joined by the voices of forgotten souls, guided Alex through a spectral tapestry of pain and regret. The Whispering Pines, it seemed, harbored the tortured spirits of those who had become entangled in its dark history. As Alex delved deeper into the spectral realm, memories of the forest's dark past unfolded. The cursed clearing, once a site of ancient rituals, bore witness to a tragic tale of betrayal and forbidden knowledge. The vengeful spirits, bound by an unbroken cycle of suffering, sought redemption through the living. The campers, marked by the forest's malevolence, were now part of the haunted tapestry that clung to the Whispering Pines. Guided by the spectral revelations, Alex returned to the physical realm. Armed with newfound knowledge, the investigator sought to confront the vengeful spirits and break the cycle of torment that bound them to the Whispering Pines. The townsfolk, now united by a common purpose, joined forces with Alex in a desperate attempt to free the trapped souls and lift the ancient curse that loomed over the forest. The clearing, now bathed in moonlight, became the battleground for a spiritual confrontation. Alex, wielding the ancient dagger as a conduit between realms, faced the vengeful spirits in a battle that transcended the boundaries of the living and the dead. The townsfolk, armed with ceremonial artifacts and a newfound determination, stood beside the investigator in a desperate bid to free the Whispering Pines from its haunted legacy. In a surge of otherworldly energy, the vengeful spirits were released from their spectral prison. The Whispering Pines, once a bastion of malevolence, seemed to exhale a sigh of relief as the cursed souls dissipated into the night. Mark's whispers, now a somber melody, echoed a final farewell as the forest embraced a newfound sense of tranquility. The Whispering Pines, having shed its haunted legacy, stood in silent whispers beneath the moonlit sky. The townsfolk, their faces etched with a mixture of relief and sorrow, gazed upon the ancient forest with newfound reverence. The paranormal investigator, now a witness to the forest's spectral release, offered a quiet nod to the Whispering Pines, an acknowledgement of the ancient forces that had been laid to rest. In the days that followed the forest's release, the town on the outskirts of the Whispering Pines National Forest experienced an unexpected calm. However, the lingering whispers persisted, carrying echoes of the ancient curse that had gripped the woods for centuries. As the townsfolk resumed their daily lives, they couldn't shake the feeling that the Whispering Pines still held untold secrets. Strange occurrences began to unfold in the town. Residents reported hearing faint whispers on quiet streets, and shadows seemed to dance with a life of their own. Paranormal activity, once confined to the heart of the forest, now encroached upon the town's borders. Fear and uncertainty gripped the community as they grappled with the aftermath of the supernatural events that had unfolded. Alex Thornton, the paranormal investigator, couldn't ignore the town's distress. Drawn back to the Whispering Pines, Alex sought to understand the nature of the lingering whispers. Armed with spectral detecting equipment, the investigator delved into the town's streets, where the boundary between the living and the supernatural seemed to blur. As Alex explored the town's outskirts, the spectral detecting equipment registered heightened activity. The whispers grew louder, revealing fragments of the ancient curse that had seeped beyond the confines of the Whispering Pines. It became evident that the malevolent force, though weakened, sought to resurge within the town itself. The paranormal investigator, now faced with a renewed threat, realized that the whispering shadows were far from silent. Investigating the source of the tainted resurgence, Alex stumbled upon an abandoned house at the edge of town. A nexus of dark energy that mirrored the cursed clearing within the Whispering Pines. The house, a forgotten relic of the town's history, harbored secrets that fueled the supernatural forces encroaching upon the community. The investigator, now faced with a nexus of malevolence, understood that the ancient curse had woven itself into the fabric of the town's existence. As Alex delved deeper into the abandoned house, evidence of forbidden rituals and occult practices emerged. Torn pages from ancient tomes revealed incantations and symbols that mirrored those found within the Whispering Pines. The town, it seemed, held a dark history intertwined with the malevolent forces that had plagued the ancient forest. The tainted resurgence reached its peak as shadows converged within the abandoned house. Unseen forces, fueled by the town's haunted history, sought to manipulate the living in a desperate bid for redemption. The whispers, once fragmented, coalesced into a chilling symphony that echoed the ancient curse's unbroken cycle. The town, now entangled in the convergence of shadows, faced a renewed struggle for survival. Faced with the resurgence of malevolent forces, the townsfolk rallied alongside Alex Thornton. Armed with the knowledge gained from the Whispering Pines and the abandoned house, they prepared for a desperate alliance against the encroaching darkness. The fragile dawn, once a symbol of hope, seemed distant as the town teetered on the brink of a supernatural maelstrom. The abandoned house, now a battleground between the living and the supernatural, witnessed a spectral battle of unprecedented proportions. Alex, guided by the lessons learned in the Whispering Pines, confronted the malevolent force that sought to consume the town. The townsfolk, armed with artifacts and a newfound resilience, faced the shadows that threatened to unravel their community. In a burst of ethereal light, the nexus of dark energy within the abandoned house shattered. The malevolent force, once bound by forbidden rituals, dissipated into the night. The whispers, now subdued, revealed a town on the brink of redemption. The fragile dawn, though delayed, cast its subdued glow over a community that had weathered another supernatural storm.